will change your life, and it's down to you whether that's going to be for the better or for the worse. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how you can improve your credit score, and if you've got a crap one, how you can go from 0 to hero as quickly as possible. But let's talk about debt first of all. Debt's got a very negative connotation in the UK. It's almost like this taboo that the idea of debt is like, oh God. And I do get it, but you have to bear in mind and shift over the mindsets between debt types. So on the left-hand side, we have got bad debt. Let's put a sad face on here. Bad debt. So what have we got? We've got liabilities. We've got cars, if you're financing them on debt. You've got credit cards. You've got overdrafts, etc., etc. But what actually makes it bad debt? Well, honestly, a lot of the time, it's nothing to do with the debt itself. It's what it's utilized for. For example, if you put a credit card on a credit card, a refurbishment for your property that's going to add value, or you're investing in your own education, or let's say Alex, who's obviously my videographer, my media manager, and if he's freelance, he's going to need some equipment. If he's going to start that business and he uses a credit card to pay for some cameras, that's an investment in his future. So that isn't what we would call bad debt. That's what we would call good debt. So on this side, we've got good debt. And good debt is all about assets. Assets such as purchasing property as an investment vehicle. It could still be a car. If you've got a car leasing business and you're using a line of credit to buy those cars and then lease them out or resell them, that is used as good debt. So I am millions, and I mean multi-millions in debt right now. No, it's not that scary. In fact, if you say that to the average person, it's like, oh my God, you poor thing. It's like, yeah, but I'm also a multi-millionaire. And here's the secret to the richest people in the world, including almost all billionaires. They have debt. On top of this, what debt offers us is flexibility, growth, and allows us flexibility when shit hits the fan. Because guess what? Life happens. What's worth mentioning right now is that your credit file will shift over time. So if we just have a look right now on mine, I'll go over to Experian and it will log into mine automatically. You can see I don't have the perfect score, but why is this, right? So I've got a score right now of 957. So it has gone down 37 points. Oh no, it's absolutely fine. The score is still good. The reason it's gone down, is because of two reasons. Number one is because there's been a couple of credit searches. So because I'm buying property all the time, each time there's a credit search by a mortgage provider, it will go down. And number two reason is because of my credit card usage. So I use an Amex, which is in my personal name, and I pay for all of my Facebook ads and things like that on it. So right now, my American Express is £24,666 usage over the last month. Okay, so that's how much I've used of it, and then if I pay that down, then it goes off, and obviously each month it goes. But it's going to fluctuate. What's going to happen is it could be 999 tomorrow, it could be 900 tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. The number's an indicative number to represent your overall file, but the lenders that are going to be lending you money are going to be looking at the overall credit file, which is important for you to look at. The first thing you need to consider before we're looking at improving this is actually checking it, and I'm going to put check before you buy. And that is really important, before you buy. Most people get caught out from this because they end up finding out they've got something negative on their credit file before they even get to the lender in the first place. So you've got Equifax, you've got Experian, also Credit Expert, same company, not sure why there's two there, and a few others that are free. Personally, I really like Experian. I think it's like £10, maybe £15 a month, but the first 30 days is free. And it's definitely the one that a majority majority of lenders will use. But ultimately, it's not actually the number you care about, it's the actual file. So what you're going to be looking at is, are there any hard searches on there? A hard search is what's impacted you. I'll go through that in a moment. But if there's a hard search where you're like, I didn't apply for that, maybe it's an insurance or a card or something like that, you can get it removed. Or maybe something that happened to me is I had a Vodafone bill that was marked as unpaid when I originally started from like 4 years earlier. And so that never happened. So I ended up getting in touch with Vodafone through Experian. They then contacted them and asked them to remove it. It was removed within 15 days. So you need to make sure you're looking yourself, because there shouldn't be any unnecessary surprises that come through in this. And if you're working with investors, by the way, get them to do the same too. As I mentioned, what you want to flag is these hard searches. So if you've got more than one hard search, and a hard search is where they are proactively looking at your credit file when you are applying to something like a mortgage, if you're getting a car lease out, anything like that. And if there's more than 2 in the last 6 months, that won't have a negative impact to you getting lending, but it will get looked at. And so the credit score that you're seeing will be lower, because it's an indication. If you've applied to 2 lines of credit, it doesn't understand, the numbers don't understand the difference between it being an insurance quote or it being 2 credit cards. And if you've had to look at 2 overdraft facilities or 2 loans in the last 6 months, that's probably an indication that maybe you're stretching yourself a bit thin. You'll also have soft searches on there a lot. So insurance companies, when you're looking through them and getting indicative prices, these are soft searches. So they'll show up on your file for you to see, but a lender doesn't see that, nor does it impact anything at all. So you don't need to worry about that. So just double check the last 6 months in particular, and if there's more than 2 on there, you want to be looking at it and trying to get one removed. And often, genuinely, even if you have searched it, you can call them and say, hey, look, say it was a missed payment 5 months ago as a prime example. You can say, hey, I've been a customer for 4 years, that didn't happen, that was on your side, can you get that removed please? 95% of the time, they will remove it just to keep you as a happy customer. But it can be done, ask the question. The next big thing is the electoral roll. So, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of the electoral roll for my own reasons. However, the electoral roll is an indication to the government telling people where you live, what you do, etc., etc. It comes around however many years, but you need to register to it. So it's to prove that you are who you say you are and where you are. And from a lending point of view, it's security. It is the most secure way of confirming who you are and where you live. Now, this is really important, because if you're not at your current registered address, then often what they'll do is, the first time I looked at this, for example, it was like, it thought I lived in like 5 different locations. And the problem is, if they need to chase me or get in touch with me or something, what address do they write to? There's 5 separate addresses they'll need to send bailiffs to if I dodge paying or anything like that. So by being on the electoral roll, it shows that I am meant to be where I'm meant to be. I am registered, and they have a single point of contact. So from their point of view, it reduces the effort that they're needing to go to and increases the security of you as a person to lend to. It is an easy fix. And in terms of your credit score, by the way, you can jump up an extra 100 points, give or take, just by making sure you're on the electoral roll. The next one is access to credit. What you want to do is get some access to a credit line. This is if you are young, 18 to 20, get yourself a credit card. There's a couple of reasons. One, you can get points like air miles and things like that, but how does a lender decide that you are worth lending to? Well, the easiest way to do it is that you've got available credit. Now, with this one in particular, let's say you've got a credit card for £2,000. I'm not even saying you need to use it, by the way, but if you've got £2,000 available credit, and all you use on a monthly basis is £200 of it, number one, it's showing that you've borrowed £200 and paid it back, but as a percentage of your available credit line, you're barely using anything. So as mine, my Amex has gone up 26 grand so far this month, right? Because of the Facebook ads I'm putting on. What they'll see is that I'm paying that off at the end of each month. So it doesn't matter whether it's 10 grand or 50 grand, I'm paying it at the end of each month on my Amex. But really, I should be trying to keep that percentage lower. So if you've got an available credit of £2,000, make sure you're not spending more than £1,000 a month and then pay it off at the end of each month. So it's showing that if you're not using all of your credit line, you must be good financially and in a strong position. Well, that's certainly the assumption. I know this next one is a little bit controversial, but use debt. God, my handwriting is terrible. Use debt. Now, as I said, this is a bit controversial because don't go into debt. Oh my God. I'm not saying start just buying stuff because you have access to capital like that. What I am saying is look at what you spend on a daily basis. Do you go to the cinema on a Saturday with your fella, your missus, whoever it is, or if you're like me, with nobody because you've got no friends or anyone in your life? You could go out there and buy your ticket, your popcorn for one, and cry yourself into that popcorn knowing that you are building your credit history, my son. So instead of using a debit card or cash, use your credit card. What about your weekly shop? Credit card. This is showing that you are reliably borrowing money and paying it back at the time frame given and promised. This is how you build a solid credit rating in the first place, by showing you are both lendable and trustworthy as a debtor. Finally, be smart about your timings. I'm going to put this on. Be smart. What I mean by this is there is a massive time lag, usually 3 to 4 weeks time lag from when you do something in reality to where it actually shows on your file. So bear this in mind. If you've got, let's say, for example, I've got my American Express at 26 grand. Let's say I'm going to be making a load of purchase or a huge purchase. I'm going to want to step forward my best foot, right? So instead of using Amex for the next month or two for my Facebook ads, I'm going to pay that elsewhere and just not use the credit cards at all to make sure the lending is very low as a percentage, knowing that in 4 weeks, that's going to show all of the lenders, hey, James got loads of access to capital, but he's barely using any of it. He's a good guy. Nice one. And then I can use that. But also with applications. So when I'm buying property, and I'm buying a couple each month now, what I'll do is I'll get all of the legals built in, and then what I'll do is, say I'm buying 5 properties, I will apply for mortgages on all 5 of them in the same week, because they're going to search my clean credit file 5, 6, 7 times, however many times I need to within that week or two. None of it will affect me negatively at all, because it doesn't work like this lender searches and this person finds out. As I said, it's 3 to 4 weeks later. So if you are buying multiple purchases, try to group them together, because it will impact you at the same time. And then after 3 months, it impacts less. And after 6 months, doesn't impact you at all. Be smart with how you approach it. So that's it for this video. Let me know if I missed out anything. If you've got any hint, tips or tricks that you can put in, let me know in the comments. And if you've already got a perfect credit score, put no, don't put that. Put excellent in the comments. If you got value from this video, absolutely destroy the like button. And if you're new to this channel and you want to find out more about property, investing and scaling your property portfolio, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.